Thief of Hearts, a woman's crime of romance fraud. "Stop! Now sit your ass down!" the song demanded as Esther found herself face to face with a new player in this tangled web of deceit. Here on the Will I Be Happy channel, we continue the thrilling story about a woman who is more than just a thief of hearts. With her life hanging in the balance, Esther had to decide how far she would go to survive and whether she could truly trust the man who had become her downfall. Episode 5, What You've Done is a Crime. Esther's mind raced as she sat in the dimly lit motel room, flanked by Victor and the mysterious stranger. The two men were engaged in a tense discussion, their voices low and urgent, as Esther tried to make sense of the situation. Shadows danced on the walls, cast by the flickering light of a single dusty lamp. The atmosphere was tense, and Esther could feel her pulse throbbing in her temples. "So, the evidence has been taken care of?" Victor asked, his brow furrowed with concern. The stranger nodded, a slightly sinister smile playing on his lips. "Of course, your name has been cleared, and the authorities are no longer a concern." Esther felt a chill run down her spine. Had Victor managed to evade the law after all? And who was this new player in the game, and what were they planning? The stranger's presence was unsettling, his calm demeanor and sharp eyes suggesting a man who thrived on control and manipulation. As if sensing her unease, the stranger turned his attention to Esther, his gaze piercing. "And what about our little friend here? What shall we do with this bad girl?" Victor's expression softened as he looked at Esther, and for a moment, she thought she saw a glimmer of regret in his eyes. "She's been through enough," he murmured. "I'll handle this." Esther's mind whirled, her thoughts racing as she tried to make the stranger arched a brow but nodded in acquiescence. "Very well, I'll leave you to it then." As the stranger departed, Esther found herself alone with Victor, her heart pounding. "What's going on? What are you planning?" But Victor was already shaking his head, his expression hardening. "I can't take that risk, Esther. You're in too deep now." He pulled a handkerchief from his jacket, the silk gleaming in the low light. "I'm afraid this is the end of the road for you." As Esther stared down the innocent piece of cloth, she knew at that moment that she had been tragically, irrevocably wrong about Victor. He was no mere criminal, he was a cold-blooded man, and she had been a pawn in his deadly game all along. The realization struck her like a physical blow, her body trembling with a mix of fear and betrayal. "Victor, please," she whispered, tears welling in her eyes. "You don't have to do this." Victor's resolve seemed to waver briefly, his eyes flickering with something that might have been sorrowful. But then, with a deep breath, he steeled himself. "Goodbye, Esther." An involuntary scream tore from her lips as Victor's hand became tighter around her throat. The cry was muffled, but it filled the room with a sharp, deafening sound that echoed through the air long after she had given up fighting. Esther's body crumpled to the floor, her eyes wide with shock and pain as her life ebbed away. In her final moments, she thought of all the dreams she had held dear, the hopes she had carried to this city, and how cruelly they had been snatched away. In the end, Esther's dreams of a new life in the city were shattered, consumed by the web of lies and deceit she had unwittingly stumbled into. And as the room fell silent, the final, devastating reckoning had claimed its victim. Victor stood over her, a man trapped by his choices, his face a mask of stoic resignation. Esther's life came to a tragic end after she found herself trapped in the clutches of Victor and his mysterious associate. Despite her desperate pleas, she realized that there was no escape from the web of deceit she has become entangled in. As the final curtain falls on this thrilling saga, Esther's story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers that lie in waiting for those who dare to chase the allure of the big city. Her tragic end is a stark reminder that not all that glitters is gold, and sometimes the most enchanting dreams can lead to the darkest of realities. Leave a comment below and share your thoughts on this story. Remember to subscribe to our channel for more unexpected tales and emotional journeys. See you in the next adventure. Until then, stay happy.